Ladies and gentlemen, round 10 was my best game of the tournament. 92% accuracy. Was it in a winning effort? Or was it in a losing effort? Because believe me, I've had that before in these tournaments where I have played at such a high accuracy and yet have still lost. It's actually incredible. But no, we're going to have a look. I had the black pieces against Mr. Antonio Crispin Moultrey, a lovely gentleman, 1497 rating. I think he also had a FIDE rating, so a very important game. Mr. Ridwan Hanslow, I didn't mention, was 1268. He didn't have a FIDE rating, so that win, while good, not a FIDE rating. So Mr. Moultrie played d4, I had knight to f6, and he went bishop to f4, the London. Now, I don't have as strong of feelings for the London as I have spoken about, like the fantasy variation of the Caracal, but it's still not nice to see. So d5, e3, c5, the perfect way to play, c3, knight to c6, bishop to d3, and I really thought, am I just gonna like trade the stuff off, like queen b6, if he plays like queen here, am I just gonna trade the stuff off and make a draw? I really wanted to play for a win, but I was thinking in my head, I was like, is a draw that bad? A 1.5 on the day because there were two games. I won the first one against Mr. Ridwan Hanslow, so I wasn't sure because I really didn't want to play a draw, but I had the black pieces. A lot going through my mind. He played b3 though. Okay, bishop to g4. It took a lot of guts to play this because I was like, I don't really want to play f3, but he plays f3, and I thought g4 was coming. He didn't. He played knight to d2, and I just played e6, and now he had to play knight to e2, bishop to e7, and yeah, c4 is a mistake. And from here, Stockfish was playing this game. Not me. Stockfish. C takes d4. He does play e4, which is a mistake. I just play d takes e4, baby. Takes e5. Bishop drops back. Castles. h3, rook fe8. The only inaccuracy. Knight to f3. Bishop to b4 check. Knight drops back. Bishop to g6. I'm targeting the pawn. He does eventually castle, but I take the knight and gobble up the pawn in the center of the board. Now I'm up 2 pawns. And they are not just any 2 pawns. They are 2 pawns in the center of the board that are passing and walking down the board. Knight to c1. Bishop to g6. Knight to d3. Rook a8. Yes, you can play rook ae1. I have e4. Not only that, I have e3. And d3. And e2. And here, the longest annotation of my life after bishop to e7, I had to write down e takes f1 equals queen check. Rook takes. Queen to c7. Knight takes bishop, pawn takes. Bishop attacks my queen, queen to d7. Pawn here, d2. Takes, queen takes f7 check. King to h7, and now rook f4. Threatening rook h4 checkmate. But it is easily stoppable. Queen e1 check is good enough, but I also have queen to e5. Pinning the rook. It's now mate in 9, mate in 8, rook f8. It's not the perfect move, but it's good enough. Queen takes. Now I just take with check. Check. And here, queen f5 check. I would have had mate on the board, but he resigned. A 38 move demolition of Mr. Antonio Moultrey. And it all started because he made one blunder, c4. And from here, like I spoke about in the game against Ridwan Hanslow, Jose Raul Capablanca, smooth as butter. I take. Why can I take? Because if he takes, I just hear. I'm just here, and I hit stuff, and I see everything. Wait, what? Not queen takes first, knight takes first. We're going to ignore that Jose Raul smooth as butter. We're just going to ignore that for a second. Knight takes d4. And now if bishop to g3, which I did calculate, I thought check. because I did see bishop to e3. I thought check. Then even if you take like with the knight, I have taken the bishop, and this is fine. I'm up 2 pawns, and I'm good to go. So c takes d4. He pushed, so he didn't allow me to take. But yeah, I was like, well, it's simple. I'm just going to take again. Whatever you take back with is going to give me something, and he took back with the pawn, and I played e5. I just kicked out the bishop, it went into passivity, and even though he can castle after first playing h3 and allowing me rook f8 and bring the knight back, I have check. Has to force something back, forces the knight back. Now I can target the pawn, because that's a weakness. It's got no other neighbors, it has to be defended by pieces. And after he castles, which is the best move, I can win the pawn again, because I remove the knight, which is defending the pawn, and now you run out of defenders. And very importantly, I do not take with the bishop, because there are times when you can play rook takes f6. And that is a problem. Because if, let's say, bishop takes d3, there's, rook takes c6. Queen takes c6, queen takes here. And this position, while still winning for me, is a lot different, because he's got 2 pieces for the rook. And that might be enough, although I've still got 2 pawns that are walking down the board. So knight takes e4, get the knight out the side of the rook, avoid any tactical complications, and after we trade off the bishops, I don't know why he plays knight to c1, I just go back. And now the pawns begin their march. After being supported by 1 more rook, we just march them down the board. The rook and the queen are not good blockaders. When against 2 passed pawns, we just march them down the board, we pick up a rook, and we protect our queen, and we've still got 1 more passed pawn that we invest in, and we win. Now we're up a piece and a rook, and they go for counterplay. There's nothing there. We calculate fully, and we stop mate by queen e1, but more importantly, queen e5. We kick out the queen by virtue of winning the rook, and here it's mate in 3, check. There's a few mate in 3s. We start with easy rook to d2, and queen f5 check. The only move is to go here, and we would have played queen here, check, and mate. Sensational, storming game from start to finish. 92% accuracy according to the engine. Only a 2150 estimated elo though, but a beautiful, beautiful game. And I was really looking good with 1 round to go. We were now up to 4 points. If we win the final round, we're up to 5, only -1 for the tournament, gaining lots of rating. Let's see how it went. I'll see you tomorrow for game 11.